The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
All right, and welcome to another episode of The Art of Painting with Rockwood. I'm Rockwood, and today we're going to be doing a Hawaiian gecko. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back, and today we're going to be painting this gecko, like I said. So you can see I've already got the white outline already drawn on there, so I know what I'm doing, and you'll be able to follow along. All right, so let's get started. Again, like always, I'm going to use my trusty filbert brush, my favorite thing. I didn't put any of my flow down here yet. Let me get some of that. Now, just as a reminder, that flow is like a thinner. It just helps the paint flow. It levels it out a bit. So I'm going to mix a little bit of dark green, my medium green, and then I'm going to start right here on his belly. Now, see, I'm just dragging this like this to get that nice line right there. Take a little bit of lighter green because I really want to build this body to give it that rounded shape. Take that right up to that line right there. I'm going to paint this in sections because I know that it's going to dry considerably. Because I'm going to paint this with really thin amounts of paint. And referring to my trusty artwork on my tablet there. I'm going to be doing something really unique when we get to the thing, because I've never done a gecko for you guys. The reason I'm doing a gecko, I ran into a family while we were out shopping, and they approached me and said that they loved my show. And the daughter said she loves my show. Younger, I don't know how old she was, 10, 11, something like that. So I asked her, I said, well, if you like my show, you know that I ask people all the time if they want me to paint anything specific. And she said, yeah. And I said, what would you like me to paint? And she said, a gecko. I'm like, you know what? I can do that. So, Tiana, this is for you. I hope you like it when I'm done with it. Yeah, that's good. Of course, you know, obviously, like all my paintings, I did the background beforehand so that it would be ready today, because we only have an hour for the show and I don't want to spend too much time just doing the background. But my wife told me that I should do just a background show so I could show you how I do all that background stuff. Maybe we'll cover how I go about my research to figure out what it is I want to do and make sure it's going to work for the show. Right in that tail. Now you notice that I'm putting a lot of yellow in there, but what I'm doing is I'm dragging it back in over the darker green to blend it, making it nice and smooth. Yeah, see how that's dry already? All right, that was cool. Now, one of the things that I have to point out is that when I paint that, you really can't see it much, but you can see like right there where the leaf goes through his head, where his head goes over the top of the leaf right there, you can see that there's a little darkness in there. So that just means that I'm going to have to pay attention to making sure that that's darker right there and cover that up so that it doesn't bleed through. But I'm going to do a special technique to play with that, and it's going to look really cool. Okay, so now some of these colors are translucent, which means you can see through them. So I'm going to do a little white first, get that opaque white in there. Now we're going to take a little bit of blue. Geckos' tattoos a lot, but so I really have to think about it because the discipline's a whole lot different. I can do more with the painting than I can with the tattoo, so. bit of that darker blue. Just fold this right in here to give me a shadow through there. Now this is just my round brush, not really a liner, but I can get some detail in here like this. Now what I'm going to do, this is that technique that I just mentioned. I'm actually taking the bottom of the paintbrush and I'm just going to make dots. Look really close at a gecko. They have these little dots, almost like scales, but not really. Put some white dots. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little Payne's Gray. And create the shadow underneath the gecko here. flow. So even although that green is dry under there, what the flow will do is help me blend that Payne's gray into the leaf so that it creates that shadow without being too dark. Then as I bring that shadow up, what I want to do is I want to lift that tail off the leaf. So you can see that I'm kind of erasing a lot of that paint so that it looks more like a shadow. I'm just using regular water. And I'm going to go in here and bring that down to the shape that I want. Yeah. So now you can see how the tail looks like it's lifted up off the canvas right there, yeah? Cool. Continue. Show that it's lifted up off the leaf right here. Now, I'm going to do the same thing how I lifted the tail off the leaf here. I'm going to lift the front of his body. You know how much I love using the Payne's gray. It looks like black, but it's not. It's easier to work with, so I can actually erase if I need to. So if I want to go in and thin that up a bit, add a little water to it, And now that shadow looks more green than black. Really takes some finessing. I'm going to take some of that green along with the blue, and I'm going to try to blend this from the body into the leg. So it looks like a natural transition. Let's forget this shoulder. Because that hand is actually behind him like that, so that's all you see. Now see how I'm picking up excess paint right here? Kind of thinning it a little bit, making it fit on there, but I'm blending it because I don't need that much blue on there. This paint's not as easy to do this with because it's acrylic. So. All right. since we're right there by the eye, I might as well go ahead and do that. And there's a little nostril that I need to put up there. Bring that in closer so you can see it. See, I'm barely touching that so that the tip of the brush is right where I want it. So I put green under the eye. And now I'm going to put blue over the eye. Yeah. Yeah. I love this. I didn't used to like geckos. My brother used to stay here when I would go to the mainland, and him and his son loved the geckos, and they would put out these, back in the old days, the film canister. They would take the lids and lay them on my counter, put water in it so that they could keep the geckos healthy. And I'd come home and there'd be gecko poop everywhere. It was a, oh man, I tell you what. I need to stop letting him stay at my house. That looks really good. Alright, that Payne's Gray is dry enough now. So I'm going to take just a little bit of white and put my little, oh yeah, that looks so cool. This paint is just way too thick, so I'm going to put some more flow down here. Now, I'm not going to do this exactly like the photo because there is like a Brazilian of these little dots down there, and they get smaller and smaller as they go. And I know my producer doesn't want to be here all day while I do that, so I'm just gonna do it and make it look good. So now I am at I'm taking that lime green and just putting a few dots in between that. See, this is the kind of thing I can't do with the tattoo. There's no way I could put all those dots in. So right now I just erased some of that. I took some of that paint off of there because it was just too much. As long as it's wet, you can pull it off. Sorry, I heard myself whispering. I tend to talk to myself when I'm doing this and forget we're filming. What you probably can't tell is just how much I enjoy doing this. For me, this is really fun. I like this a lot. I hope you like it as much as I do. So we're going to go with a little bit more Payne's Gray. Create that shadow under the toes here. Cool. You can see I don't talk much when I'm trying to do the finessing part of this process here. Very subtle. Now I need to. Kind of cool. They actually have like a snake mouth type of thing going on right there. This is where I'm blending out that what I can see of the underpainting that's going through his head. So I'm blend that out a little bit. I really want that eye to pop a little bit more. So I'm going to take some yellow and put a highlight under it like that. Then I'm going to take some white and put a highlight above it. I'm going to take any of that blue out of there. That looks really sweet. Now, I don't like the shape of that gecko shadow. So we're going to yeah. See how I fixed that? That looks cool. All right, so now I see a little thing up here that I'm gonna touch up here. So now I'm going to take a little bit of artistic liberty. I'm going to create. I wasn't sure how much of this I was going to be able to get done. So I'm going to The other thing is what I'm trying to do with the background here is I'm not trying to create a defined leaf and shape like that. In photography, they call this depth of field, where what you're looking at is actually out of focus. The reason they do that is to bring your focus more onto the subject matter that we're looking for. Sometimes there's other colors in there. Let's roll it around. As long as you make it look out of focus, you don't really see what it is. You just see that there's something there that looks cool. I like that. That's cool. I don't know what happened up there, but fix that. So now I think I want to show a little bit more sunlight on this leaf here. What else can you do?
You got about 4 minutes.
How many?
4.
All right. That about wraps it up for another show. And right about now is we're going to do what I always say is one of the most important things you can do for a painting, as an artist anyway. And if you don't do it, it ain't done. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've actually known artists that sign their paintings with a symbol or a letter or whatever. And I tell them all the time, if the person looking at it doesn't know, can't read the signature, they don't know who the artist is. Always, always sign your name, what you want to be known as. and of course the year in which you did it. There you have it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. If you have, let them know at Naleo. And if you have any ideas for a future show, feel free to call Naleo or send them an email, whatever. Tell them what you're interested in. Tell them what you want to see me do. And I'll be more than happy to accommodate you. On that note, ahui ho. I'll see you next time. Aloha.